What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the walkthrough. So today we're going to make our way through this entire area, which is known as the ancient ruins of Rauh. So to recap, to end things, last time we went down this right here, which is an elevator, which spits you out right here. You can go down these stairs, and then there's a hippo right here that we fought to get a Erdtree fragment. The quote-unquote dungeon, as I would call it, starts right about here. So the goal with this episode is to knock out this entire area in one go and fight the boss at the end. And so that's what we're going to do. So let's get started. So one thing that's unique about this area, or if you call it a dungeon, which you kind of can, it's sort of laid out like a legacy dungeon, is with this one you can ride torrent through pretty much the whole thing. So that's sort of a little bit of a unique dynamic here. So we marked the entrance, and right when we get in here, we're going to have a shiny shadow pot guy that's going to give us a revered spirit ash. And then right when we get him, there's a curse blade that's going to drop down and try to fight us here. So these things can be a little bit sketchy sometimes, but you never know what you're going to get with these things. And there's a few of them in this area that we're going to have to take out as we go. All right, there we go with him down. Make sure that we grab the loot, which again is a revered spirit ash. Okay, here there's like a little route you can climb up. At the end, there's going to be an enemy. He's a caster. And if you don't take him out, actually, he can bother you for quite a while. He'll cast this spell, and it'll make the ground. It'll make little spirals shoot up through the ground, and it'll be quite the nuisance if you don't take him out. I need to actually stay up on this thing so I can get him. I mean, if you move on quickly with torrent, it won't be too big of a deal, but I am going to go ahead and take him out just to get rid of him. There's a couple of those things throughout that'll show up, and you'll know it when you see it. All right, so here is the way forward. We're actually going to bypass these double doors real quick. There's another one of them. He's got the staff. And then there's an item right over here that we're going to grab. You could theoretically drop down here, but we are going to stay up top. Got some fire sprite stones over here. And now we're going to go through the double doors. Here's another one of these casters. Always take them out when you see one, because they actually have surprising range. It is quite annoying. Alright, hop back on torrent. And in this room, there's going to be a few scorpions. So go on and take them out. And there are quite a few scorpions in this area as well. One just dropped down. Actually, two of them just dropped down. There we go, took them out. I'm going to top off my health. And over here, you see this enemy, and this is actually an illusory wall. So we got the Shadow 5 there by the scorpions. And right here we have a Bond Stone and Antiquity Scholars Cookbook 2. Now we're going to follow this path, go downstairs, and there should be another shiny pot guy. This is not him. There he is. This is for Spirit Calculus. On the ground here is a broken rune. Okay, so here there's another double door. If you go all the way to the end of this path, there's a Spirit Spring jump. And if you hop down that Spirit Spring jump, you're going to skip some stuff, because the path that we're going to take is actually going to take us back to that area. But again, if you go straight there, you're going to miss some things. But behind the doors is an item there, and a few of these little snails. The snails can drop things. But yeah, if you go all the way to the end of that path, there's a Spirit Spring. I'll call it out when we kind of get to the spot where we loop around to it. But what we're going to do is back through these doors. See, this was a drop from an enemy, not a guaranteed drop. Let's go through these. There's going to be a few more scorpions in here. We're going to take this one out. He's just on the ground. We got this guy over here who's chilling, but if you go over and fight him aggressively, this one's going to drop down from the wall, so we're going to snipe this one with our bow. And I'd say make sure you have a healthy stock of arrows at this point in time, because there are a few spots. I don't know why this guy isn't coming over now that I'm shooting him, but there are a few spots where there's going to be the horned warrior enemies, and I am going to take those out with the ability with this bow. So if you're kind of following along with my build, I would suggest having a decent amount of arrows for this area, because I'm going to be taking out a few things with arrows exclusively. So as I'm saying that, I want to check. Let's see, what do I have here? Let's see, go to equipment. Yeah, I've got plenty, so. Up here, there's an item. Grab this Somber 6. All right, so here we're going to go all the way back to the left. It's going to be some throwing daggers. And so go back towards where we came. That's where we came from. That was a scorpion room. Take a right. And this is going to be a big loop. It's not going to take us anywhere new, but it's going to loop us right back to this spot, and you'll see what I mean. So on the ground here, I have some glass shards. And in here is another scorpion room. So these are kind of the medium-sized scorpions. Where did he go? He went, I think he did his like roll move. Take these out. Then we get to this next room, there's actually going to be a giant scorpion that has way more HP than the others, does more damage, harder to take down. See them, he's kind of chilling there. So I don't want to fight him and another scorpion at the same time. I'm just going to hit this one with my bow, bring him over here. Oh, he's doing his roll attack. Ah! Missed. Come on, buddy. Oh, geez, keeps doing that. The roll. Again. You're kind of being annoying here. I've never seen him do the roll that many times in a row. Alright, top off health. I'm going to shoot this guy to get him down. This is the big one. Oop. I think he just tried his grab there. If he grabs you, it's pretty much an instant poison. They'll stab you with his tail. As you can see, he's much beefier than the other ones. Sliver of meat. You get the ashes, spider scorpion ashes, and scorpion liver. So now we're going to follow this path. Got some dew gem, and you can head outside. There's really nothing out here except for a nice view of the place. So we'll go ahead and take it all in. But yeah, that's where we're headed. We're going to go all the way over there eventually. Another scorpion drops down out here. So we're going to complete the loot. This is going to take us back to kind of where we started. This is a loot from an enemy that... There's one of the shadow enemies that was here that we killed before. So this takes us to the room we were before just to bring it all together. This is where we got the throwing daggers before. So now we want to make a beeline here to this door. Go southwest. There's going to be another shadow pot enemy here. Take him out. And he gives you a Erdtree fragment. So over here, there's really nothing else. There's a curse blade enemy right there that's going to drop down. I'm going to run right past him. I don't want to fight him. Those things are sketchy. And there's nothing over there. So here's a Spirit Spring jump. This one we are going to take down. And what this is going to do, I'll show you in just a minute, because behind us is some man flies. Whoop. Along with the Shadow Realm Rune 6. So we took that Spirit Spring down. We go all the way back here. And there's going to be another Spirit Spring. And remember the one that I said before? Well, if you took that one down, it takes you right here. So, I don't know why I'm using my shield. attack there. That was weird. So if we had taken that one down that I pointed out earlier, it would take us down here. And this is actually the way forward to get through here. So you could have taken that one down and gone back here, but that just would not have been as efficient of a way through this place. So you take this up just to show you. Just to bring it all together, because this place is kind of maze-like, admittedly. That takes us back to those snails we killed. So if you die and you make your way back through here, it is actually a good idea to take the Spirit Spring down, because it takes us right to where we're about to go to exit this portion. So I'm going to get off Torrent. Got some more man flies here. There's a bunch of them around this spot, actually. And there's an item over there they want. It's a talisman. There is a manfly. Actually, well, there's one behind us. And there's one on the roof over here. So before we hop over to get the talisman, I'm going to shoot it down. If I can get him. There he is. Shoot him down so he doesn't ambush you. He fell, so... Hop back on Torrent. Grab this thing. The Find Crucible Feather Talisman, what that does is I think it increases your backstep capability, but you take extra damage as a result. See, Fly Mold, that was from an enemy. That's not a guaranteed pickup. And so back here in this corner to the right, there's going to be another caster. Take him out or he's going to be annoying you for a little bit here. More fly people down here. Just gonna run past them. So through here to the left, there's another route you can climb up for another item. Take out the fly people. And get the Shadow Realm Rune 7. So through here, you see that guy right in front of us? That is a Crucible Knight enemy. And there's a Grace on the other side of him. So we're going to take the long way around him to get to the Grace. And there's also an item down this way. So head northeast to the wall. And then southeast all the way back. So we're going to get this item and the Grace and everything before we fight him. All right, we got the Ash of War Dryleaf Whirlwind. That's for close range combat. And here we have a Michael's Cross, Ancient Ruins Cross Message, Erdtree Fragment, and our Grace. All right, so let's go on and rest. And we can level up our Shadow Realm Blessing. We'll go ahead and do that. Now we're going to fight this Crucible Knight enemy. And we also picked something up. Ancient Ruins Cross Message. A message left by Dryleaf Dane, if you remember him. We beat him a long time ago. Addressed to kindred spirits who also pursue Michael's trail. We found the sealing tree just ahead, but if we're to burn it, we need the proper kindling, that of Sir Mesmer. So that we got from beating Mesmer back in the day. If you recall, we can actually get to this place without beating Mesmer, but we have beat Mesmer, and you have to beat him in order to do what we're going to do here later. All right, so here we got the Crucible Knight enemy. And this is actually the first, I believe, if you read the item you get when you beat it, I think it's the longest standing Crucible Knight. So there's a little bit of lore behind this guy. I'm going to sneak up behind him. So crouch, go up here. And I don't think you can get, I do not think you can get a proper backstab, but I'm going to open things up with a special attack. And this guy hits hard. He kind of turns into a horse and hops around. That's like his special move as a Crucible Knight. And did another special. So opened up with a special, sneaking up behind him. And got another one in, and that stunned him. He's almost dead. But his attacks hit really hard, so I recommend kind of keeping your distance and waiting for an opening. He does these AoEs, and you see he's got a lot of range with his weapon. So keep your distance and heal when you can, when you need to. And I should be able to take him out right here. So he is really deadly. That's why I recommend sneaking up behind him. So for winning, we get Devonia's Hammer and the Crucible Hammer Helm. So I'm going to go back to the Grace, rest up, because once we go over there, if we can see it, there is a furnace golem. He hasn't gotten up yet, so you kind of see him laying down over there. So I'm going to rest up to get everything back. And then I'm going to equip the Starfists, or because that's what I use to kill the furnace golem. So go in and throw on whatever it is you've been using to kill furnace golems. We're going to kill this one kind of the traditional way. You loop around later. I think you can throw things in from on top of them, like the pots, but that would be that would mean leaving him alive for just a little bit. And I'm just going to go on and take him out so he's not a bother to us. All right, so I'm throwing on my Starfists. There are 2 pickups on this bridge, but once you start running down, he's going to get up and start trying to hit you. So be quick. So we've got a dew gem. Be quick. There's a second item, Blight Pinion. So go this way. There's a second bridge you can jump down to. And to the west. Be quick. He's going to try to shoot you. If you're up on the top bridge, this will hit you, but if you're on this bridge below, you'll get past it. Once you're over here, you can summon Mimic. And I was in the middle of summoning when he was doing his stomp, so I got hit by it, unfortunately. So once I get the chance, I'm going to use... I'm probably too close, so I'm going to have to take the hit. Going to use the Crag Blade to enhance my stagger capability. Mimic going to town for me. That's awesome. He's doing this again. Unfortunately, I'm too close. Oh, he's doing a quick stomp. Top off my health here. And equipping the Flame Drake Talisman is probably a good idea. I didn't do it, but I perhaps should have. Trying to get a stun. I've jumped way too early there. Be patient. There we go. Right there's stun number 1. Take the crit. Very nice. Need to re-up my Crag Blade here. Don't get in front of him because he can grab you. Ooh, nice. Got a stagger right when he was about to stomp. Up. Mimic's almost dead, though. He has fought valiantly for me, so... Alright. I'm not far enough away. Fill up. Oh, is he doing his whirlwind? He is. Oh, nice. I knocked him out of it, though. That was perfect. Being a little bit extra aggressive there actually ended up being worth it. And hopefully I can get a... Oh, he's too high up off the ground to get the freaking critical. Just have to... This'll get him, though. He's almost dead. That was unfortunate. Okay. So for killing him, we get the Crimson Sapping Crack tier and a Furnace Visage. I believe that tier recovers HP as you land hits, I believe. Not going to be equipping it. All right, so we go this way. So where I'm headed is kind of this spot. There is a Spirit Spring jump that is blocked. So we're going to circle around and unblock it. So if you see it there, I just wanted to point that out real quick. If you go that way. We are going to unblock it, but it's going to take a little bit before we can. So this way, headed to the southeast, like over here, there's a Grace. That's where we're headed. Go up this little hill. And as you can see, we crossed that bridge, so we're on the other side of the ruins now. Head and rest. There are a bunch of shadow enemies over here. And you have some of them are shooting like this projectile. A couple dogs. Take out the dogs. The dogs will chase you and cause problems. Easier to fight them off torrent. Here we go. Their dog. Got the kukris on the stairs. And over here, there's another shadow pot guy. So run and take him out. He's going to be over here to the north. There's another curse blade guy that comes down, and he can use black flame abilities. Then, of course, we got these guys that are shooting the projectiles as well. So take these guys out and then fight the curse blade. So that way you're not getting shot at by other things while you're trying to beat the curse blade, who's also shooting at you. Where is the curse blade? He should be down by now. I think he's hanging out like on this wall over here. Where is he? There he is. So if you can knock him down, do 2 specials in a row, that's usually a good way to take him out. I got really lucky with that one. As you guys very well know, I don't always get them that clean. So over here at this altar, I already picked it up. It was a sketch tree fragment, so make sure you get that. So out here to the north, I'm headed to this area. There's a gazebo right here, and there's 2 horned warrior enemies. So I'm going to take them both out with my bow, or at least get a significant portion of their HP down with my bow. I'm going to get this guy to turn around. Oh, he's kind of walking the other way. And there's 2 of them. So don't go down there because there's another one with a greatsword right behind there. So that's why I'm trying to get this guy out over here. So I'm not fighting both of them at the same time. That is a recipe for disaster. And he has a ranged AoE. So do my special. That didn't get him all the way down, but hopefully I can get him here. Perfect. All right. Yeah, that AoE that he did to open was a little bit tricky to deal with, but just keep your distance. And if you don't get him all the way with your bow, you can just switch to your weapon real quick and get 1 or 2 hits if you need to. So the ones with the greatsword, as I said, as I've been saying, are a bit trickier. Because they hit harder and they close gaps really quickly. They have that hip thrust attack they do. 1 more should get him. Much easier to take him out this way than at close range, which is why I like this bow attack so much. All right, so in this little gazebo, we have a revered spirit ash. And this area straight ahead, there's a bunch of Scarlet rot over here. You can go there now, but I am not going to. I'm going to do all of the rot stuff kind of at the end because the rot area is what leads to the end of this this level and to the boss. So we're going to do that more towards the end. So where we're going now... We're going back inside of where we were. This is, again, where we picked up this guided tree fragment. And then southwest of here is a pathway. And again, I'm not really marking all this off on my map because you see this it's hard to kind of ascertain exactly where we're at, especially when we go inside, kind of underground. So just try to follow the headings. So again, we picked up the guided tree fragment over here. Now we're in this spot. More shadow guys over here. Spirit gravestone, and then this is an elevator that we can ride up. There's gonna be another horned warrior out here that we're gonna kill. Gonna take it out the same way we took out the others. Go ahead and top off my FP here. Same thing that we did to the others. He's got spells. Keep your distance, fire arrows, you should be fine. Or fight him at close range as well, if you so choose. Alright, so right here, We got the divine bird feathers. Okay. Now, through here, another rot area. As I said, we're going to do all that stuff later. So kind of how we're going to work it is on this side of the bridge, we're going to do kind of this section first. And then we're going to go up here and we're going to do this section. And then we're going to meet in the middle. And then the middle takes you up here to where the boss is. And the middle is kind of where the Scarlet Rot area is. So for now, we're headed towards this over here. This is going to actually unlock the Spirit Spring for us. Alternatively, if you got to the if you saw the Spirit Spring before like we did, you can use one of the shackles. And I'm pretty sure even if you use the shackle on the ground level, it'll take this out and it'll unblock it. But I did want to show you where the rocks were, just in case you don't have one of those shackles and you need to know where the rocks are to unblock this kind of traditionally, as opposed to using the shackles. There's a Spirit Spring. We're going to be doing that later. For now, we are headed down here, and there's like some, you see on the map, there's like these little raptors type things. We're going to drop down to them, and kind of takes us to a secret spot. Oh yeah, before we do that, actually, on this roof, there's an item, so we can jump over there from here. So I did mark that place where we're going next on my map. But before we do that, we're going to jump over to this roof. And this is where we were before. We fought the two horned warriors down here. So we do have to take the elevator back up now. For that shadow rune of 4. Back through here. Again, where we got the Erdtree fragment. This is where the path to the elevator. And this spot does involve some tricky platforming, just so you know. I will show you the way. Alright, so around here is the spot we marked. We can drop down. So line yourself up with that so you can drop down on top. Go. Then drop down over here. A little bit of damage from that fall. Oops, that's the wrong flask. Get off Torrent. There's an item over here. I think it's easier to make this jump off of Torrent, because it's very easy. See over there, there's a gap in the walkway. It's very easy to overshoot with Torrent. So I'm going to make this jump off of Torrent, pick up the item. And then it's easier to make the jump back, since you don't have much area to get momentum for running. It's easier to make the jump back on top of Torrent, since you have kind of a long runway to shoot for with the double jump. So jump. The way I do it is jump over there off of Torrent and jump back on Torrent. Now that we're back on Torrent, we're just going to make our way over here. I'm going to avoid sprinting, because it's easy to make a mistake and fall off if you're not careful. This way, there's an elevator right ahead of us. We're not going to take it yet. We're going to get a secret and then loop back around. So then jump over here. This is the end. Watch out for this gap. Not fall down. Alright, so we got a couple of Hornsent Inquisitor people. Oh, he refilled our flasks. That was nice. Alright, so go through the hole here. In the hole here. Got a little secret. Talisman of all crucibles. So we picked up several of these talismans along the way that each of them give you an ability. The one we picked up actually earlier today was one that improved our backsteps. There's also one that improved your rolls and things like that. So that talisman gives you all of those effects, but it also greatly increases the damage you take. So now here's the elevator that we showed earlier. We're just taking this up. And there is a grace up here. So this takes us to this area, and the only way you can get to this area is by taking that secret path that we just did. The south is our grace. To the east, I should say. Get the race. I'm going to rest to reset the time in the morning and maybe level up. Oh, I'm barely not able to level up, so I'm going to pop an item here. See, this should give me enough. And you notice I've got a ton of rune items in my inventory. I'm not using them intentionally because I'm doing a walkthrough here, and so I'm not dying a whole lot. I'm very familiar with the game and where to go, obviously, and how to get through stuff. So that being said, if you've been dying a lot, the reason why I intentionally don't use my runes is that if you need that as a buffer to catch up to whatever level I'm at or whatever, you can go ahead and use those to level up if you need to. And I intentionally do not use them knowing that, you know, people who are not as familiar with the game are going to be dying a lot more than I am and perhaps losing their runes more frequently. So I will not be using all these rune items during the walkthrough to kind of give you guys a bit of a buffer if you need it. All right, so what we're doing now is down here, there's an item, but straight ahead of us is a giant archer golem. He's gonna be shooting at us, so just stay on torrent and keep moving so he can't shoot you. If he does shoot you, it's not the end of the world, but just know he's gonna be kind of pestering us as we do this. So over here is our item, Spirit Calculus, right on the cliff there. So now we're running straight to him. There's one more item we're going to pick up and then we're going to fight him. And these guys aren't hard to kill. It's the same as before in the base game. 2 charged heavies to the legs. Should knock him over. Here we go. Here's our... Going back to the stairs we were just on. But I went the wrong direction. So yeah, northwest. Here we go. Back to these stone steps. As long as you stay moving, his arrows should miss you. Right here we have a smithing stone 7. Set up these rocks to fight him. 2 charge heavies to his legs should knock him down. Whoop. It should stay on torrent. Here we go. Charged heavy. Charged heavy. And you can't fall down to a spot to where his critical shiny spot is inaccessible. If he does, just keep doing charged heavies till he's dead. I was lucky though, and he fell down in a spot where he was vulnerable. Now go back down. All the way at the end of this path, there's gonna be another item. Take out the dog. Ugh. There we go. All right, drop down, but stay on this bridge. Pick up the item, Shadow Rune 7. So drop down here, but do not go too far because right in front of us is another boss. This is another Divine Beast enemy. We fought one of these as a main boss in the Belurot Tower. But this one, when he phase changes, can cast Death Blight. So I'm going to put on the proper equipment for that. So I'm going to put on the Prince of Death's Cyst, which is going to greatly raise our resistance to Death Blight. I'm also going to put on the Death Blight Boluses in case we get the build up. I'm going to summon Mimic. Buff up. And hope for the best. Because this guy is very tough. Even though we fought one before, once he gets to his Death Blight, he actually summons basilisks into the fight, so just be careful. When I say that, I take a bite to the face, and I almost got grabbed. I'm waiting for him to aggro to Mimic here. He's not cooperating with me. There we go. Oh, nope. He's still on me? Where's Mimic at? There we go. So at about 1/3 damage is when he transforms. Ooh, almost took the bite there. So transform. He's going to do the Death Blight Mist. He summons Basilisks. I suggest taking the Basilisks out as quickly as possible. While staying alive would be ideal. And ooh, he's doing the fog. The fog is quite expansive. I might get Death Blighted here. I got lucky. I panic rolled to safety. So yes, this fight is very difficult. Eventually he'll phase change to like more... Ooh, that was close. I need to use the boluses. There we go. Once he phase changes to like an elemental, like he does in the normal fight, he stops doing the Death Blight. But so now he's going to have his elemental. So he does his traditional. He'll do his wind. If he survives long enough, he'll go back to ice and lightning. But once he phase changes away from Death Blight, he doesn't do the Death Blight anymore. Thank God. All right, so let's see if we can manage to stay alive here. He is very aggressive. And unfortunately, there we go. Mimic got him off of me, so we should be able to take him out here. But yeah, wait. Oh, he did the grab, so he's invincible while he's in this grab animation. Nice face changing to ice. I'm gonna go ahead and use my blue flask. Mimic might take him out here though, which would be awesome. And done. Okay. Yeah, so much harder than the first time we fought him. All right, for our trouble, we get 180,000 runes, and we get the Divine Beast Tornado. Now that we're done with him, I'm going to warp right here back to the Ancient Ruins East. Yeah, really tough fight. So where we're going now is back across the bridge. Up, down. But over here, instead of going up the stairs to where we fought the Furnace Golem before, we're going to hang our right. Go northwest. Make sure I get my equipment back right. Take these off. Put on my normal talisman. Here we go. So right here at the edge, you can make this jump across. It's not as hard as it looks, just double jump. A decently timed double jump will get you there. So sprint, and then double jump. Oh my gosh. Well. That was embarrassing. But it happens. Platforming deaths, not the best, but they have been known to happen from time to time. How many times does that happen where I say, be careful of such and such, and then I do the thing that I say to be careful of doing? It happens all too frequently. Is it? It's morning time. Good. All right, let's try this again. Jump at the very end. Double jump. There we go. I think the first time I double jumped too soon. Over here, we get aspects of the Crucible Bloom. There's a couple scorpions over here. Flying variety. On these rocks, we got a somber one. Up here, we have an elevator. So there's a ramp you can take that takes you up to that little ledge up there. There's some scorpions up there, but there's really not any loot, so we're going to skip it. We're going to take the elevator up, and then right when we get to the top of the elevator, there's going to be a shadow pot guy. For Revered Spirit Ash. And you can drop down to that area with the scorpions, but you're not going to really get anything, so I don't suggest doing it. Get the shadow pot guy, along with his friends. Revered Spirit Ash. Okay, so now we're going to drop down. There's a bunch of blood fiends down here, and their dogs. Take them out carefully. Try not to lure them together in packs, because it can get deadly very quickly, especially with the blood buildup. Oh, that dog, that's a bigger dog. That's why he's not that's why he's, oh, jeez. Ah. Again, I say be careful, and then I'm getting myself killed here. Oh gosh, I'm about to get bleeded. Yeah, those dogs can get you. Here we go. All right. Disaster averted. So you go southwest, kind of to this wall. Behind here, this pillar. There's a knot resin. And again, there's a spirit spring in front of us. We are going to use it in just a bit. And if you hook around, go northeast to this wall. And then southeast. Got some more blood fiends over here. And I'll pull up my map as soon as I can. Show. Really, we're just on the... So here's the spirit spring. We were on this side. We looped around, and now we're going down this side. Actually, this part I want to be off of Torrent, because there's another blood fiend over there. But this one's a much larger blood fiend. He takes more hits, so we're going to sneak up behind him. But he's surrounded by the dogs, so we're going to take the dogs out first. There's 3 of them. You see that item right there? Don't take the bait. And also be careful not to hit the blood fiend with an arrow. So make sure that I'm angled in such a way that I'm not in danger of actually hitting it. There'll be one more dog. Here we go. Tough to see, but if you lock on, it should pop up. He might stand up after hitting this dog, but he's not going to come at you. The dog will, though. So this blood fiend, we're going to sneak up behind him and do 3 charged heavies. If you get 3 charged heavies off, it should stagger him. If he interrupts you, just back away, regroup, and do like a special. So behind him, 3 charged heavies. He is, as I said, he is way tankier than the other blood fiends. The third, oh, he jumped. He did not stay, he did not cooperate with me. Back away. I'm gonna do a special. Yes, so I think I'm not gonna get the stagger here, but that's fine. All right. Here we go. Got him. This one in particular, if you kill him, he gives you 5 sacred bloody flesh. Here's the item pickup from before a golden horn tinder. Okay, so now it is time for the spirit spring. Jump down. I'll top off my health here. And there's multiple directions you can go with this. For the first one, we're going to go east. Hop up east. And you get up to this platform. And the only way to get up here is by using the spirit spring. Before going up the stairs, hook around to the southeast. We can walk around carefully on this for an item. East horn. Oh, that the little squirrel almost made me fall. I don't think that would be a death, but then we have to get back up here. All right, let's see. Over. Now we're gonna go up the stairs. Got a treasure chest right here. And inside we have the mottled necklace +2. Increases resistances. Now we're headed back to the spirit spring. Gotta drop. Let's see, I think you can make this drop, but you just take a little bit of damage. Drop off the edge. It might be death. Yep, that's death. Dang it. Thought I'd made that drop before. But apparently not. Should have tested it. So I'm going to warp over here. Should have tested it with a prism stone. Yeah, so we were up here before. I think if you drop closer to this side, you can make it. You do take damage, but it is a makeable drop at some point. So just use prism stones to test. If the prism stone shatters when it lands, then it's a death if you drop. If it lands and it glows, then it's safe. Alright, so I'm gonna get my runes back. Over the east. Yeah, over here. I think you can land on this thing. But here, I'm gonna test it with the prism stone. If it breaks, I'm just gonna warp. Yeah, it breaks. Okay. I thought I had dropped down here before, but maybe not. But we are just going to warp. Go back to the Spirit Spring. Play it safe. And this time when we take the Spirit Spring, we're going to head north. It's going to take us to some goodies and head to that Scarlet Rot area. That's going to take us to the next spot where the boss is. Well, align yourself northward and then take the jump. We're trying to get up to that platform over there. Go. For left, we have a cookbook. And this is actually an invisible bridge. This takes us to an altar where if you have the stone sheathed sword, or if you made it the sword of night before like we did, here you can make it the sword of light. So you have the sword of light. And so the sword of night and the sword of darkness and the sword of light, or whatever they're called, have very similar stats, but I think what that does is it changes the special ability. Head back across the bridge, and now we're at the Scarlet Rot area that I told you we're going to get back to later. Oh boy, this place can be dangerous. Those guys shoot the pest threads at you, and if you have multiple enemies shooting pest threads at you at the same time, that is a good way to die really quickly. So I'm going to be extra careful here. Take these guys out with range whenever possible. There's these two ones that are together. I'm using my special here to do a little bit of extra damage. Whoops. Because yeah, when they do that pest threads attack, if it all hits you, it does a pretty significant amount of damage, and you have multiple at the same time, it goes poorly. And the problem is now, we've got this one walking over. I mean, I guess I'm just going to shoot him. And then there's two more. There's one to the left and one to the right. But the other ones I'm going to kill more traditionally. But yeah, having 4 of them in one room is a recipe for disaster. So yeah, here's the Scarlet Rot area. On turret, you don't take the build-up as usual. Ugh. So if you're right next to them when they're doing the pest threads will overshoot you. But if you're a little bit further away, they'll hit you. But up close, you're, you know, vulnerable to their piercing attacks. Ugh. Gosh, these things are a pain. I'm trying to get behind this to heal. Alright. He killed Torrent. There's a bunch of loot in here. Immunizing cure to meat. Fly mold. Smithing stones. Probably going to take the rot build up because I rolled in the rot, so it's still on me. And back here, dappled white cured meat. And, oh, I'm safe. Okay, how about that? Well, for now. And here, there's more of these enemies. Fortunately. But whatever ranged attack you have to take these things out is ideal. Because you don't want to be fighting them in packs. And there's not really any loot in this particular spot. And I am being extra cautious here. There's really not any loot in here, but I do want to show you how it loops together. So this is the elevator. That's where we want to go forward. Oh, whiff. So this connects back to the gazebo where we fought the two horned warriors earlier. So that's how it all comes together. We're going to go up this elevator here. And this is going to take us to another Scarlet Rot Swamp. So over here to the south, there's an exit. This exit takes us back to where we fought one of the Horned Warriors up top, and then over here is where we drop down to go up this elevator, etc. So just, that's how this room fits together with the rest of the place. All right, take this guy out. There's a few of them in here. Yeah, those pest threads, if it all hits you, it does a pretty substantial amount of damage, which is why we are being so careful. Yet if you're really close to them, the pest threads usually miss you. All right, so if you go up those stairs, we're going to get invaded by Hornsent. If you've been following Hornsent's quest exactly as I've been doing, you'll get invaded here. If not, if you killed him earlier, he's not going to invade. Or if you did not summon him from Mesmer, he's not going to invade here, but you're going to face him later. Back here's another item and another one of these. You see, these things can just spam the pest threads. Look at that. Just gonna go pick up the item and run back. Not worth fighting these guys. There's two of them on the other side. And I'm pretty sure there's no loot over there. But once you get kicked off your horse, that's how you know you're being invaded. Hornsent spawns at the top of the stairs. I'm gonna head up there and get him right as he spawns in. Or we can lock on, do a special. He can bleed you if you're not careful. Not that tough. Alright, so for killing him, you get his weapon, which is a very good dex weapon, and his armor set. And no matter what point you kill him, it doesn't matter if you kill him as part of the quest line earlier, if you kill him here or later, depending on what path you took. You get the same stuff from him. I'm pretty sure down here there's nothing except for the two pests. Yeah. So we're just going to leave them be. Not worth the time. Alright, so up these stairs. Don't think there's anything around here except for maybe some crafting materials. Maybe not even... Oh, here we go. I knew there was at least something. And out here is the boss. We got a Grace and a Fog Wall. Can I level up? We shall see. We can level up our Spirit Ashes. And I'll go ahead and level up Strength. Not much of a difference, but I'll take it. So this is actually the only boss on my first playthrough, the only remembrance boss I should say on my first playthrough that I killed on my first try. But that said, she is difficult. She does cause a lot of Scarlet Rot buildup. Equipping the Scarlet Rot curing boluses is a good idea. I'm gonna go ahead and buff up. So she has an attack where she'll grab you. Her grab attack, she'll get pretty much Scarlet Rotted immediately. And she has a lot of it. She has like a glaive, like not a glaive, a spear that she attacks with. And she has a lot of it. She's riding like a caterpillar. She does like a lot of hits with her caterpillar tail, that type of stuff. And she has an attack where she summons a bunch of butterflies. She has some AoEs that cause Scarlet Rot, that type of stuff. But keep your distance and, you know, make sure that she's splitting the aggro with Mimic and that type of stuff. And if she's on you, just do a lot of dodging, I guess. But she's not that bad. And just for saying that, she's probably going to kill me. Even though I just said she's the only boss on my first playthrough that I killed on my first try, but only remembers the boss that I killed on my first try. So I'm going to summon Mimic right away. Heal up. This is Romina, Saint of the Bud. So I'm going to just kind of dodge the attacks here until Mimic gets going. Let's see. They're kind of creepy looking. On the centipede with like a scorpion tail. Yeah, so she attacks with the tail and with the head. Nope, it's out of range for the special there. Roly-poly attack. Yeah, lots of attacks with the head. Taking some rot build up here. Alright, there's a big Scarlet Rot AoE. The butterflies, as I said before. So get away. The butterflies explode, so get away from the butterflies. And the frame rate does not like that attack. So now she does a bunch of swooping attacks. I'm almost Scarlet Rotted. Roly-poly again. And dead. There we go. Very nice. Very nice. Killing her, we get the Remembrance of the Saint of the Bud. Going and level up again. All right, guys, that is where we're going to call it for today. So, a lot of fun. And once we go here, there's an action we're going to take that's going to take us to the kind of final big area of the game. So we're going to get to that next time. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Hope this helped you out and had a lot of fun. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next one, and we'll catch you next time. Take care, everybody.